Hello and welcome to West Country Wanderings. Welcome to one in my Cotswold Walk series. Haven't done a Cotswold Walk since Boxing Day last year when I did a circular around the village of Bolton-on-the-Water going up to Clapton-on-the-Hill. Anyway, we've moved a little bit further south in the Cotswold region, the Cotswold AONB, area of outstanding natural beauty, into this beautiful part here in Painswick, in the wonderful graveyard, which is surrounded by snowdrops today. I'm going to do a shorter walk today. I went down with a virus a couple of weeks ago and still regaining my strength so I can get back out and do a longer stretch of the Severn Way. So we're going to walk to the village of Sheepscombe, which is in a deep valley just the other side of there. I've seen photographs of Sheepscombe and I've never actually been to the village before. So I hope you can join me again here on West Country Wanderings on a Cotswold Walk around Painswick and Sheepscombe. Now, if you're thinking of the church here, and this churchyard is familiar, well, it's been done on YouTube many times before. In fact, we've been here before when I was doing the Cotswold Way. Also in this series, in the playlist, if you haven't seen that, I was heading north up to Chipping Camden, making my way across, and I used this as a point, and then we headed up to Painswick Beacon. The church here, St Mary's, was actually originally, according to my Pevsner guide, which I picked up a couple of days ago, second hand for £2, bargain price, was linked to Lantony Priory in nearby Gloucester, some 6 miles down the Severn Vale. It was actually destroyed and then rebuilt starting in 1378. The churchyard, of course, I'm sure most of you already know, is famous for having 99 yew trees. I haven't got time to count them today, but we're going to start now heading off on our journey, which takes us down into a little coombe where there is a mill, or former mill. I think it's now a private dwelling. We'll have a look at that and then make our way across to the village of Sheepscombe. Painswick is such a glorious, picturesque location for photography. Got time, I might take some photographs at the end of today's walk. As I say, we're looping back around here today. I have the tourist information here right on the edge of the churchyard and this wonderful gateway which leads you into the churchyard off the main high street. But we're heading down the bottom into a coombe. So we're going to head down this hill, down to the bottom of the valley, down to a place called Brookhouse Mill, and then follow the bottom of the valley. I love that old sign there, the Golden Heart, which, according to the sign, used to be a tea house, sadly no more. The large building here, though, is Tibby Well House, and I believe there is a well here called Tibby Well. Now, this large house here called Gwynfa used to be a hotel, one of the main hotels in Painswick. And along here is Kemp's Lane, and just beyond that is a hotel which is currently in use called simply the Painswick. However, our journey heads down steeply down Tibbywell Lane. There, I think we have found our well, certainly a spring. See, I told you it was steep. So this is the site of Brookhouse Mill, as I thought. It's now turned into residential. Lots of the mill owners, or mill workers, cottages should I say, now turned into holiday lets. But this is the mill stream, should I say, which we're following into Sheepscombe along the valley. Starting to leave Painswick village, heading right out into the glorious Cotswold countryside. It was slightly tricky getting across there, but it was doable. Testament to all the rain that we've had over the past 48 hours. I can't actually find a name for this stream, but I do believe it later forms the Painswick Brook, which ends up actually joining the Stroudwater Canal just outside the town of Stroud. Now there is actually a useful little seat here, but won't need that at the moment. We haven't long set off from Painswick. Certainly stop when we get to Sheepscombe though. We need to go up the steps there on the right. So we're now following this track. We've just come out of the woodland there above the stream, and then we're going to turn right and gain some altitude up towards Dell Farm. Such a picture postcard everywhere at the moment with all the snowdrops in abundance. Now this is an interesting inscription here. It says it's called Felicia's Wood, and then it says Ora Muller, and then underneath that it says named after the province, or the Estancia province of Buenos Aires. Yes, I do believe there is a connection to South America and Painswick. I don't know how that came about, but I think there was a large house hereabouts, also called Buenos Aires. Yes, it may even be this house here that's called that, but I can't see it actually marked on the map. I'll check my Pevsner when we stop at Sheepscombe and have a look. Yes, so next to this house here, we turn right up the hill. There. Now looking back at the town of Painswick, and can make out the tall steeple of St Mary's Church where we started our walk today. You can see that we've walked down into the stream valley and back out the other side. Oh, that's a lovely view there, right across the Painswick Valley. Heading on the left there, that would be towards the large urban town of Stroud, but that's not in shot at the moment. And those woods up there, well, around the hamlet of Edge, which we walked through when we were doing the Cotswold Way. Sorry about the bad lighting in this direction. So this is Dell Farm, and we've got to make our way continuing up to the house on the top there, which is appropriately called the hamlet of Longridge, and following that ridge down into Sheepscombe. So I've now made it up to Longridge, which I believe is the highest point in our walk today. I'll confirm that and put it in below. I think it's 190 metres above sea level. It looks like we're actually above the top of the spire of St Mary's Church in Painswick. Great view across into the town of Painswick here, and you can see just why the town was built there on that high ridge of land above the Painswick Valley. But we're heading up a bit further and we should be able to see another valley on the other side. I'll tell you about that. Now, according to the road sign there, it looks like Longridge is actually, well, an outlier of Sheepscombe parish, but it's not the heart of the village. We need to make our way along this track here, where we're joining up with the Wysis Way, the long distance path that goes from Monmouth in Wales to Kemble, also here in Gloucestershire. We're now entering Blackstable Wood, which is part of the very extensive Cotswold Commons and Beechwoods Nature Reserve. Some of it's looked after by National Trust and also by English Nature, as is the case here. This location at Cockshoot, we're following a quarry by the looks of it. Our footpath bears round to the right. Unfortunately, the footpath is a bit mud churny through the wood because it's also bridleway with that heavy rain, and the horse's hooves it's churnched up a bit, but no worse than what we've seen previously here on West Country Wanderings. According to my map, we're now coming into the village. We follow this lane there with tarmac bit till we get to a chapel, and then we turn left down another lane till we get to Sheepscombe Church, where I'll stop and have lunch and probably swap over my cameras and do bits and pieces there. So this was the Methodist chapel here in Sheepscombe. It now looks like it's converted into a private residence, as these things often are, but it's good to see that it's been very faithfully and beautifully restored. So we need to turn left down that little lane there. There's a little brown marker, I think, just down there. Good morning. So here we are in Sheepscombe, beautiful Sheepscombe. I'll show you the church in a minute. I have to tell you a little bit about that because it's an unusual design. Sheepscombe is also famous for the cricket ground. I don't know if I can find that, but the cricket ground actually appears in Cider with Rosie, written by Laurie Lee, which I have covered on a previous video. But it was to Sheepscombe that he came to watch the cricket. I'll just read that to you now. What he put: Lee, the usual village boy, describes himself as one of the gang. and joins in such activities as a violent game of cricket in Sixpence Robinsons. The boys on logs and whistle, peel sticks, play mouth organs, make the lives of the pigeons miserable, and then retire to the paddock and play cricket under the trees. One of them, Sammy, hops and bows like murder. The stumps are defended with their lives. The cracked bat clots. That is summer. That's a great piece there from Cider with Rosie. And you can just imagine him. He would have come up into the woods that I walked through, looking down on the village and then making his way down to watch the cricket here, and probably the most famous cricket grounds in the entire world. I'll just read to you what Pevsner says about this amazing church here at Sheepscombe with you, as you can see there, that incredible strange design. So it's the Church of St John here in Sheepscombe. It was built around 1820 and it was enlarged in 1872 by one Francis Niblett. The original church has the most amusing west end with a minuscule tower which thinks it's a turret with an ogee lead roof, but then tries to be a tower with 4 tiny corner pinnacles and a pygmy ringing stage below. Yes, it's really odd. It's like the designer decided to build it one way, the architect, and then changed their mind and think, oh no, we'll go the another way, and then think, oh, we don't have quite enough space or enough money to do it. But that's what we're left with. Really, really unusual here in this beautiful little Cotswold village of Sheepscombe. It's a circular walk I'm doing today. We're going to start making our way back to the town of Painswick, but we'll be going on a different route to the one that we came on here. And so we're now leaving Sheepscombe on this footpath here. Again, I'll insert the map so you can see it on the screen, but also I'll link to the map in the description of today's video if you'd like to do it yourself. Sheepscombe does have one pub. I didn't actually pass it. It's a bit further up the hill. I'll have to retrace my steps to see it. But if it's got a website, I'll include a link to the website. So if you want to stop off and have a pint, some lunch at the pub in Sheepscombe on your circular walk, then check the opening times and I'm sure you'll be able to do that. So I'll include that there. It's also had a village hall there as well. And I'll also see if I can get a stock image of that cricket ground as well. Yes, it's definitely catkin season as well at the moment. The yellow ones there, they're the male catkins. The females usually have bright, dark pink flowers on them. That's looking back to the heart of the village. You can just make out Sheepscombe Church just on the right of the screen there. We're just coming up to Pill House Farm where we need to turn right, and then I think there's a choice of options, but I think we're going to head over the one which goes over a footbridge over a stream and back into the town of Painswick. Now already coming back to see the edge of Painswick. That's the main Cheltenham Road. I don't know if you can quite see cars going on that. Just slightly below the top of the ridge there where the woods are. Well, I thoroughly enjoyed Sheepscombe. I do apologise for not being able to give you a really thorough tour of it because time is always tight when I film these sort of things. I didn't arrive to Painswick till about, I think it was 9:30, 9:45. Obviously I had to do quite a few set-up shots, and by the time I've had lunch, it's almost time to head back. So I've got a little bit of daylight to do a bit of photography around Painswick again before it gets dark. But maybe we'll return to Sheepscombe another time. But apologies that I couldn't actually get to the well-known cricket ground there. But I thought it was a beautiful village. I say my first ever visit to Sheepscombe, can you believe that? Even though I grew up right here in the Stroud Valleys. I'm going to continue on the walk down there, back to Painswick. Wow, what a beautiful, beautiful spot this is here. Wonderful stream. This is the stream that we picked up at the start of our circular walk today, coming out of the town of Painswick. I'd just like to thank, and I've done this a couple of times on the Cotswold Walk series here on West Country Wanderings, to thank the Cotswold Warden Service for the maintenance of all the footpaths. All of the footpaths that I've come across today have been brilliant. Wonderful styles, wonderful gates, very, very clearly marked. No trouble with any obstacles whatsoever. Really, really fabulous job. And I often come across this in the Cotswolds. It's the finest walking country that I come across of all the areas that I do here on West Country Wanderings. Really, really brilliant job. I'm going to end the video here now because it's going to get busy as we go into Painswick. I've probably got about 3/4 of a mile still to walk. I don't know whether to close the video off with some photographs. I will have taken around the town of Painswick. We'll do that as a separate photography short bite. Either way, there'll be some clips and bits and pieces at the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed the walk today. Circular walk from the beautiful town of Painswick to the equally charming village of Sheepscombe. Until next time on West Country Wanderings, take care of yourselves, look after yourselves. Bye for now.